9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark.
Green flag on the race course, 5-minute gun. 5-minute gun, we call it a gun because back in the day, Kay Brewer, that's what we used to do. We'd fire a gun. Here come our 1-liters.
How could you hear it over these guys? I don't know how you could hear a 5-minute gun over these guys that are heading out onto the course. See speeds of over 100 miles per hour in our 1-liter class. These are a 13-foot boat. It's going to be fun. Brad, let's go through the lineup.
We have boat number Y30. It is basically all red. It is driven by David Hale. He's going to be joined by Sean Bauscher, driving a red and white boat. That's the Y52, a white deck with a red cowling. Scott Schatz driving a 1-liter. The boat I put down looks like the Los Angeles Chargers. It's powder blue with the lightning bolt on the cowling. Robert West will drive the Y31. It is two-tone pink K. It looks like the Circus from back in the day. Jeff Bernard, look for him to be close to the front. It's blue and white. It's the Y18. He calls the boat Fast Eddie. Unfortunately, Jeff Conant, the Y931, is not going to make it, but he's going to be joined the rest of the field out there by Bobby King, driving the Y41. It's green, it's black. They call it the Shenanigans. And as you know, it is a quick 1K. Two more on here. Brad Sanchez driving a boat they call the Beacon Plumbing. It's got blue on the cowling. It is orange on the decks. It is Y45. Rounding out our field from the Tri-Cities of Washington, the Y19, Josh Culver, the Griggs Ace Hardware. It is orange and white, got a blue tail on it. That's a good field of 1-liters.
It's going to be fun. As you can see, these drivers are making their way down the back stretch. They're already starting to size each other up out there, Brad.
Yes, they are, and that is Josh Culver on the inside at the top end of the race course. He's got Jeff Bernard right in his right side. Rear view mirror coming up on 3 minutes. 3 minutes to the start. First heat of 1-liters.
RJ West and Y31 and the Circus boat at the apex of turn 2. And look, here comes that Shenanigans boat driven by Bobby King, sponsored by the RSTZ Trucking.
Coming up on 240 to the start. Again, for race fans who have not watched hydroplane racing in the past, maybe this is your first time. First and foremost, welcome to the 2021 HomeStreet Bank San Diego Bayfair. Everything happens on a clock start. The end game is to put your boat on the start-finish line at full song in open water and hit the line right when the clock strikes 0, okay? If you're a second early and get across the line, you get disqualified. You get the wrath of the officials. You don't win. If you're 2 or 3 seconds late getting to the start-finish line, same end result. Everybody's going to beat you to the first turn.
Well, you can see all of our boats are making their way around the course and quite spread out on the course. Each driver goes out on the course with their own personal timing runs and timing spots. You'll see some of the drivers are going to be over here in turn 1. But we've got one, and that's going to be Jeff Bernard in the Y18. Looks like he's making one last timing run down to the start-finish line.
Coming up on 1:30, mark right there, 1:30K until our start, the start-finish line. Maybe we should point out exactly where that is. It is on the front straightaway where the boats are right now in front of all those RVs. You'll see the large start-finish line buoy there. That's where they want to be in a minute, 10 seconds, and they want to be wide open, Kay.
Scott Schultz is coming down the back stretch. You'll see this whole time, I'm not sure if you observed it, but I did. He was actually kind of putzing around the course. That was his timing runs that he wanted to do. That is his timing marks. Like I said, each driver wants to go out. They go out onto the course. We had testing this morning where they were able to make those timing runs and get those timing spots.
Okay, we're inside 1 minute until the start. One of the things we will say, look at the boats as they group up coming up the backstretch. One of the things we will say after the start, as soon as we know, we will say it is a good start, meaning nobody jumped the clock, or we will say it is under review, which means the officials are taking a look at it. Help me out on that one. That looks like Mr. Bernard in lane number 1, Kay.
I'm not sure, but I'd see Bobby King right there in that Shenanigans boat as they make their way across into the apex and down to that start-finish line. But I have a feeling Scott Schatz might be having some issues. Looks like he might be bringing the boat in. But our drivers are making their way down across the start-finish line. Give them the countdown, Brad.
10 seconds until the start. Now this is where they got to be on time. They come up on 7 seconds. Going to be close. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, and we are racing in our first heat of 1 liters, and they hammer down to the lower end of the race course. We've got a whole pack of boats going in down there. They're about 4 wide as they go through. Coming through the corner down at the bottom end of the race course, that's Shenanigans. I think that's him sitting in lane number 2. I believe that is going to be Bobby King. I think it is Jeff Bernard, who is back a little bit on the inside. Then I think it's Josh Culver. We'll verify as soon as they come up. The start, Kay, is under review. That means somebody was very, very close. They've got to take a look at some film. One of the dead in the water boats that we've got out here is the Y3, Scott Schatz. He is dead up here at the top end. Look at Culver on the outside, Kay.
Bobby King, I don't know, he was flying that boat really high down that backstretch. He knows he's got a battle for first and second. These drivers are going to ride him to the edge at speeds of over 100 miles per hour in a 13-foot 1-liter boat.
They come down to put 1 lap in the book with 2 more to go. You are exactly right. It is Bobby King. It is Josh Culver. They are out front as they come up on some lap traffic. Bobby King is on the inside. It is Josh Culver in lane number 2 on his right side hip. He's filling up the right side rear view mirror. Watch for Culver. You'll see him momentarily.
There comes
There he is right there, and he's sitting right on the hip. That's good racing, Kay, up the backstretch.
Bobby King going to bring him down the backstretch, and he stole the start, but like I said, the start is under review. We're going to have to see if he's a legal boat or if Josh Culver is just fighting for first place as these two side by side, throttle to throttle, come into turn number 2, Brad.
Yeah, they are virtually dead even. Bobby King in the Shenanigans with a 1-boat length lead, but Culver out of the Tri-Cities on the outside. Doesn't want to let him go. They're going to come down and pick up a white flag, meaning 1 more lap to go.
Jeff
and
Bernard
we are being told that Josh Culver has jumped the start. Josh Culver, the boat on the outside, pressing Bobby King for the lead. We are now being told he has jumped the gun. That means he got across that start-finish line before the clock struck 0. He's still driving hard, just in case they may want to change that call, but right now, it doesn't look good for Josh Culver, but the racing on the water is terrific, Kay.
It does look good for Jeff Bernard because that puts him into the second place, but watch these two. Look how close they are getting coming out of turn 1. They are fighting it all the way to the end. Like you said, you never know. That start could be reviewed one more time, but Bobby King is flying that Shenanigans boat all the way down the front stretch. He is getting a lot of air underneath, and it looks like Josh Culver is going to start to move to the outside.
Yeah, Culver's on the outside. He's got the lead now, and if we have the information on the call, you have to believe Bobby King has it as well, but he's still going to push on the inside. Culver on the outside is going to come off the top end of the race course with about 3 boat lengths on Bobby King. You see him there, and they will make a run down to pick up the checkered flag. Bobby King closes up some ground, but we still have the penalty on Josh Culver. Too bad, because it was tremendous racing here in our first heat of 1 liters. Kay, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. The 1 liters never disappoint.
No, they don't. They gave us a great run for our first heat of a 1 liter. I'm going to step down and I'm going to go talk to Bobby King.
So there we go. Kay Brewer, I said, the busiest person in Southern California. She is going to go down and pick up a discussion with our winner. It appears to be Bobby King driving a Y41, the green and black Shenanigans. But a great show here in 1 liter racing, and as Kay mentioned, one of the beneficiaries there of that particular heat was Jeff Bernard, driving the Y18, finishing 3rd on the water, but 2nd overall because of the apparent penalty to Josh Culver. Here comes Josh. He's the first boat coming back to the pit area. Good-looking hydroplane. The family picked up that boat a few years ago, brightly painted. Got the Griggs Ace Hardware sponsorship on the deck. But the man of the moment right now is Bobby King, driver of the Y41, the Shenanigans. He will come home with a first-place finish. Here comes Jeff Bernard in the Fast Eddie. He'll be the 3rd boat back to the pits. Sean Bauscher comes back in the white and red Y52. I mentioned that Josh Culver running under the sponsorship of Greg's Ace Hardware here this weekend. Happy to announce that Charlie Gregg of Greg's Ace Hardware is here this weekend. Talked to him this morning. Charlie, we appreciate your participation in the sport as always. David Hale is going to make his way back to the pit area. I know we lost a couple of boats out there. We still got one out and running, so we'll get some patrol boats over. Pick up those boats and get them back to the pit area. Kay Brewer, she went off of the tower here quickly. I think she is down on the dock. Kay, just jump in here whenever you can. It's difficult for Kay to hear all the way down there, but I see her. She is on the dock.